go.
Battery 90%.
All right, y'all. Let's get rocking.
And stay woke. Wake up, wake up, wake up, and stay woke. Because this is the Ball Hog Sports Talk with your boy, B. Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hog, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South. This is the place where sports, business, and entertainment collide. And we're going to give it to you rough, rugged, and raw. So come get you a spoonful, like some grits with butter and salt. You know how we do it in the South, y'all. Make sure you do not get caught in your feelings. Strap on your seatbelt and enjoy the ride. Come on, let's go.
With no further ado, you know what it is. It's the Ball Hog Sports Talk with your boy, B. Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hog, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South, a.k.a. Mr. Excessive Celebration. And I get to be on this magical ride with the two folks that I love to see on Friday morning. We got the maestro, superhero DJ John Quick in the building.
What up?
And you know we have the Maverick herself, Miss Majestic Maya. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing on this Friday morning?
Straight.
It's doing straight. I love to hear it. It's raining outside. We about to make it rain inside because we about to bring it to these listeners today. Are y'all ready to go?
Always.
We're going to start the weekend off right. The Ball Hog Sports Talk, as you know, is just a collaboration of the three of us, the maestro, superhero DJ John Quick, as he sips on his tea from the superhero mug. You have the Maverick, Miss Majestic Maya, and you have the MC, yours truly, D. Brown ESQ. This is where sports, business, and entertainment collide. And every show, we got to start off with the WTF moment of the week. WTF of the week. The WTF of the week this week, to me, had to be, and it's always tough to choose these, man, but it had to be this particular week. It had to be Jonathan Isaac of the Orlando Magic. The young man who said, because Jesus told him, or God told him, somebody within his religion told him that he should not kneel for Black Lives Matter. In the same week that he made a very public statement not to be with the rest of the gentlemen, basketball players, not even just gentlemen, the people, because everyone in the stadium seemed to be kneeling except for a black man that's 6'11" named Jonathan Isaac. And he said it's because of his religion. And that same week, that sound right there is what it sounded like when he went down with an ACL. In the same week, he tore his ACL and Black Twitter went in. Y'all know that woke folk had some things to say. They said this ain't nothing but the ancestors. He became a meme. that magic dust. What do y'all think about that, man? First of all, his decision not to kneel. What do you think?
I agree. And let me tell you something. You keep messing with those ancestors. They didn't die for nothing. You do clownish shit, you get treated like a clown.
I felt bad. Quick, what do you got on that one? I don't know if you felt any particular way about the brother making the statement that he did not want to kneel because of his religion.
It's pretty simple to me. Like you have, because of the way this country is built, you have the right to participate or not participate in a peaceful protest. But don't sit here and tell us that Jesus told you that, because that sounds like the Klan talking about they doing God's work. All right. So just own your shit. That's all I'm saying. Just own it. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
This tea hot? This tea extra hot, quick? Damn. Ooh.
I saw so much heat that brother took on Twitter. Black Twitter went in. I saw the funniest one I saw was that Jesus walks, but Jonathan Isaac doesn't. And it was messed up, but it was funny. Look, I'm an athlete, and y'all know when initially I tried to have the conversation, we tried to talk about it a little bit, and I was uncomfortable even talking about it, because as an athlete, you never wish injury upon another athlete. It's like the cardinal rule, because karma will come back. But ironically, we are reluctant to say anything or celebrate in light of anyone's injury because of the karma. Ironically, people are saying that he got hurt because of karma.
Sweetie, no one's celebrating anything. This is a fact.
Exactly.
It was proven. He hurt himself.
He did.
I think no one's saying, oh, no, it's like you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You said something, trying to say, everyone wants to be a contrarian and stand out.
Oh,
now
no, she didn't.
nowhere. Now you sit down with that busted ass ACL, and I can laugh because I tore my ACL too. So, oh well.
How you tore your
Knee
ACL?
injuries are no joke.
I was
man.
hit by a car.
Oh,
Damn.
jeez. Now,
I had to give you my original damn.
right.
Damn.
Yeah.
All ACL tears sound painful, but that sounds more painful. You got hit by a
ACL,
car.
MCL, and PCL. Yeah. That's why my teeth are so nice. Thank you, City of New York.
There you go. I ain't mad at you. Well, yeah, this brother went down with an ACL, and it has been quite the story. The interesting thing is John Quick, DJ John Quick, the maestro, you said accurately that we live in a country that you have a right to make a decision one way or another. And Jonathan Isaac, because he made that stand, literally and figuratively, he made the stand. He stood up during the anthem when everyone else kneeled. His jersey sales have soared, which has been interesting to me. It shows you just how sort of polarizing activism is in sports now. It's amazing.
I'm sure white people bought that jersey because black people, and it's just like they meaning white people. Shout out to the white listeners, but it's always some justification for the fuckery. And don't use the Bible, don't use Jesus, because my God said, your God said to hang people from trees. Your God said to judge people.
I never thought of it like that. That was a very interesting analogy you made with that, John Quick. I never thought of it like that, but you make a great point.
Thing, man. Like,
people use religion to defend some really bad behavior.
I said that, not John. I said that.
I said it first.
Oh. Well, you both said it. My bad. Here I am over here trying to give credit where credit ain't due. My
bad. You was like, no,
that was me. I said that. I do think that probably a lot of white folk, and not even white folk, I ain't gonna make it about race. I'm gonna make it about politics. Racist. People that do not want activism in sports probably bought his jersey. But
you got the black folks that drink the Jesus tea as well because they're like, Lord, that go against Jesus, and they don't give a shit, black, white, or whatever. It's just like, cause God said, and I'm just like, wow, I don't know what your God is saying, but my God is about love. But you go on and follow that doctrine and be enslaved for the rest of your life.
Well, people have gotten in trouble. Dan Lebatard got in trouble and had to make an apology because he posted a poll. ESPN Dan Lebatard, who I love, by the way. He and his father. You don't like Dan Lebatard? He's funny to me. I guess this might be the Miami connection too. But he had to make an apology because he posted a poll. It was interesting to see the timing of his injury based on such what I thought was an interesting reason behind not wanting to kneel. Don't want to kneel, fine. But what language did God say it in? Right? You know, like how to it's an interesting way to describe why he didn't kneel. But
I mean, let's call it whatever it is. If you go to his Twitter account, he's kind of like very supportive of Trump supporters. So there's that and whatever. And again, I don't know the young man, and I would never wish injury on anything. But like I said, if you're going to make choices, please do not blame it on Jesus. If you're going to make nervous choices, which it was a nervous choice, in my opinion, don't blame it on Jesus, because Jesus would never tell anyone not to stand with the oppressed. Jesus was oppressed, and that's what he was about.
Damn,
So,
man, I just
what
broke my
are you
tongue,
talking
John.
about, bro? Like, come on, man. Like, nah, man. It was, to me, it was almost insulting. Like, really? Like, say anything else, but don't say that Jesus told you not to wear a Black Lives Matter shirt and not to kneel with your brothers in support of non-racist issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Right. You make a great point. And look, man, to watch the versus battle, and the versus battle was Black Twitter versus Jonathan Isaac, was the battle of all battles this week. But there was a real versus battle this week too. Jonathan Isaac, I wish you well with your ACL, brother, and hopefully you can defend your decisions better than Jesus told you in the future. But
I'm not co-signing y'all too. Y'all good.
you like you good with his ACL. Stay broke.
That's right.
With
Go
your torn ACL.
Oh, that's right. I'm sipping too. Forget him.
The real versus battle this week. The Maestro, you know I always love when you weigh in, but I also got to hear the Maverick on this one. The real versus battle this week, which was bound for a letdown because it came after the battle of all battles last week. But this week was yours truly, 2 Chainz versus Rick Ross. We got to at least talk about it. That would only be fair. It is a versus battle. What did y'all think about 2 Chainz versus Rick Ross? The catalog was deep, y'all. What did y'all think?
John, you want to go first, or you want me to set
You can go because I didn't watch it.
Neither did I.
That says all I need
I didn't
to
watch
hear
it at all.
So,
DJ John, quick, you didn't watch it?
Well,
No, because I mean, don't get me wrong. I play their music and everything, but neither one of those are in my top 20 of rappers.
Of
so I was just
anything.
like, for what?
Okay.
Yeah,
All
that's true. I mean, and it's not like I don't like them. It's just that I wasn't really excited to hear they were going to match up. It didn't excite me, so I didn't watch. And I've been watching all the versus battles. This is the first one that I can honestly say I did not watch 1 minute.
You say a lot in that statement. This is the first one you did not watch. Maya, did you get a chance to watch any of it? Have you heard any commentary? What are your feelings about this particular versus battle?
I heard about it through Shade Room. Shout out to the Shade Room. Y'all need to sponsor us. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw that there were a couple of young ladies. I used to term ladies very loosely. And 2 Chainz.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, he was over there making it rain. And I'm just like, I know it's COVID. I know we hungry, but damn, girl, like, really? Really? It's like the battle of the samples, because all they do, I mean, not samples like the guest appearances, because it's not like they got a catalog of their own shit. It's like they always got to hop on. And it's just like, really, really, Black women, like, okay, I'm sitting here in the sports bar because I'm about to go work out, but I ain't making it clap in front of y'all because that's not right.
Part 3 of the show. You got to stay tuned for part 3 of the show. That's
that's a private show, and only a select few are invited.
Watch out now. All right. You're private dancer. So you telling me that this particular versus battle, not only did it have top of the line, state of the art recording equipment, they had a few additional people in the studio that were clapping. Do you mean they were clapping their hands? Just so our audience knows.
Maximus clap, and it didn't even clap properly because they were stiff as bricks. I'm just like, if y'all gonna get some dances, like, come on. If you're gonna do that, go all the way. Like, if I'm dating somebody and they cheat on me, you better cheat on me with Beyonce like a bad chick. If you cheat on me with some Hobbit, we really got problems.
She said,
we had some problems.
Man. All right, so versus battle aside, it sounds like you were giving the dancers, let's call them the additional helpers. You're giving them an F? You telling me that they failed in their entertainment role?
Hon, they could have stayed home and practiced. Because it was just
practice. You talking about practice? We talking about practice.
It was just bad. And he's sitting there, he's stiff, throwing out those singles, 2 Chainz. I'm like, what is this on my phone? It was so bad. I literally read the Bible verse. I was just like, Lord, help me for the shit I just saw, because this is a mess.
So you telling me Jonathan Isaac would have been okay to watch that because he could have just read the Bible during the verse.
He's sitting here. I supposed to be the franchise player. We're talking about practice.
He would have kneeled and sprained something because his dick can't get up because he's so stuck on following whatever. I can't even entertain that.
I know you weren't excited about his reasoning. And it sounds like you definitely were not excited about this versus battle, even with
I
the
didn't
props.
even know about it until I scrolled and saw it on Shade Run.
It takes a special individual. It takes a special individual to be in the comfort of your own home or the comfort of your own studio and have dancers and be throwing money. That means you just a creature of habit, because you could just hand them the money at that point.
He's married. 2 Chainz is a married man.
He's on fire.
Don't say that like married men can't be in an entertaining establishment like that. I don't like that.
Let me
Like,
tell you something.
not that I would go,
If
but I
I'm
know
not
some of
with-
our listeners do. I don't want them
Hold on.
feeling bad about it.
Okay, we're deviating, but you know I'm pro a lot of things. And if I'm married, I'll go to a strip club with my husband. Hell, like he ain't taking home that Padisi, he's taking me home. So if I'm there and you ain't gonna give no money to no whack ass dancer, she better be bad up there. So that's who you. If you gonna give our money, she better be bad. That's all
pretty
I'm saying.
fair. I gotta say, in the whole world of equal opportunity, that's fair. That if you're saying that there's a standard to the dancing before you throw away our money, then I'm with that. I'm with that.
Why do you think they never leave me, Bob?
Hey, sunshine. They call it sunshine. Hey, I don't know how we just got on that. I don't know where and how we got there, but we are officially there. That's what kind of Friday it is. Thank you, 2 Chainz. Thank you, Rick Ross. Because what you could not provide in the way of music quality, you did provide in the way of entertainment. But next time, get some new dancers, man. Stop messing around, man. If you're going to get some dancers, get the best of the best of the best of the best, is all we saying.
Finish him.
Speaking of dancers, since this just happens to be the topic right now, we might as well get into Lou Will, because Lou Will, we thought that story was done, and it ain't done yet. Lou Will is in the headlines again, y'all, because now there used to be, you remember they said that there got to be honor amongst thieves? There used to be some honor amongst the entertainment world when you went to a dancing establishment and maybe you decided to make it rain a bit. That was supposed to be between you and your wallet. There's no way that was supposed to get out. And we got the rapper last week, the biggest groupie of all groupies, posting a picture of him and Lou Will. And now this week, we got the dancer herself, as we say in South Florida, the Scripper, Skripper, Scripper, actually.
That's supposed to be an A.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an A. My bad. I spelled it wrong. The Scripper has violated every rule known to the strip club guideline. The Scripper then went and told America and verified the story that indeed Lou Will was in there and he was tipping good. What do y'all think about that story, man? Lou Will, he's back in the bubble. He did get a chance to play this week, but that particular strip club experience cost him whatever he made rain and 2 game checks, which was about $150,000. What do y'all think about that?
She messed up her future bag. Any man or any person with sense would be like, she talked too much. Why you talk? Girl, shut up. Give him that dance. Get that money. It's COVID-19. Everybody need their money. Get your money and go. Why are you clout chasing? You stupid. You silly. You really messed up your money.
I thought they had like a non-disclosure, something that all Scrippers had.
No, they don't.
Maybe I just wanted. I told myself
it's
that
an unwritten code, bro. That's what it is, and she just
violated. She pissed on it.
Messed up her bag. Like, what pro athlete or celebrity is now going to even be near this chick? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you snitching for no reason. They probably ain't paying nothing. Like probably like $100 or something.
Yeah, man.
So you throwing in future earnings for $100? You get your likes. Do likes equate, money in your pocket? I doubt it. You stripping where? Like, come on, girl.
All right, so I have no choice but to do this because this reminded me of, and I'm not proud of it. There was a point in my life. And John Quick, I don't want you judging me, bro, because we good. But there was a point in my life where, let me see if we can blow this up a little bit. There was a point in my life where I used to frequent those type of establishments. I ain't proud of it, but I did it.
It's a judgment-free zone here. It's a safe space.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And what I did was I tried to figure out. Now, I ain't have all the money. The NFL is broken into the haves and the have-nots too. I ain't complaining because I made money, but I wasn't on the top of the food chain. There's 53 people on the roster. At times, I was number 58 on the practice squad. And when I was active, I was 53 and a half because at any point I knew I could get cut. That's just my reality. I've dealt with it. Okay. But even me at 53 and a half on the 53-man roster, even I spent money. I made it rain. So this is my rain report. I did an analysis, DJ John Quick, of what I could have spent, what I could have made if I spent that money a little more wisely. In the first column, we have a nightly rain rate. At a nightly rain rate of $100, you spent $12,000 if you go 3 times a week. That's $1,200 a month. That per season is about $9,600. Right?
That's crazy.
And then in the off season, you know, I wouldn't go as much because I wouldn't get the checks. But I spent about $12,000, and that's if I did $100 a night. Some people spending a lot more than that. At $3,200 a night, which guys do very frequently, you'd have spent basically $400,000 a year. I did these numbers and I looked at what I would have made. What I would have made if indeed I put that money in an investment account. And I have to be honest with y'all. I'm self-proclaiming myself donkey of the dang on day when it comes to all the money that I wasted, because I, like a lot of people, was in there getting entertained and they was whooping my pockets. So my suggestion to all the brothers that like to have the nightly rain report, put that money in something that's going to collect interest, and you ain't got to worry about nobody telling on you, because this particular scripper has violated the scripper code, and now you need to reflect on the money. Y'all know I like the hashtag numbers game. When I look at that numbers game, a lot of us losing out for just a little bit of entertainment. And so I encourage y'all.
Me too. That's all, that stupidity falls on y'all. You don't have to pay them.
But hey, I ain't gonna front. From what I've observed, strip clubs have saved marriages. Because you need an outlet, you know, the same way the ladies got their outlets with the little book clubs or whatever. You know, guys, they're kind of a different animal. Guys are kind of a different animal. I mean, if we're gonna keep it real, and you know, I mean, I know some marriages personally that have been saved by the strip club. I'm gonna put it like that.
Preach.
Why you play? First of all, why you playing women out like that? A fucking book
I'm just
club.
the book club is major. Out here in the burbs, I don't know what you're talking about.
Shit, they don't look like me. A book
Hold
club.
on. No, I don't know what goes on at the book clubs.
So you telling me there might be more than books at the book club? Are you blowing up the women's spot? Keep it close to the vest.
Wait, he's making this seem like we're fucking the Agnes of God. We walk around with fucking hobbits on, and we're just like walking all covered up and shit. Like we grown too.
Y'all act grown? What that mean? What that mean? Y'all act grown?
I don't know what goes on at the book club. It might be something very wonderful.
Whatever happens at the book club stays at the book club.
Exactly.
I don't know what happens at the
Women
book
are
club.
way more discreet normally than guys. They're way more discreet.
We're not sloppy. You'll never catch us unless you drug us to get a truth serum.
That's
look,
fact.
I don't care if it's lust going to the strip club or love and getting a divorce. Because our guy, Dr. Dre, just showed us, you know, his soon-to-be ex-wife said that he tore up that prenup. And if indeed he tore up that prenup and it is non-enforceable, that brother is going to come out of the pocket majorly.
Good for him.
But, man, it's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep her.
I was thinking, hey, he may have tore the prenup at the house, but I hope the lawyer got a copy.
I hope the lawyer has several copies, man, because if not, Dr. Dre, you talk about some money, man, that's going to be an expensive divorce, because if you are one of the first pioneers to get to the B club, the billionaire club, as a black man, we celebrate. But that just means that the losses, when they say half, if you'd have made that much, That's an expensive half, and she put in her time. They've been married 20 plus years, so she put in her time. So I'm praying for not only John Isaac's knee, I'm praying that indeed that my man Dr. Dre did not tear up that prenup.
Hey, but yo, like Maya was saying, was talking about karma earlier. You know, he never really got what he needed after he beat up D Barnes.
D Barnes, yeah.
I'm just saying.
In the words, and I was thinking that because he has done some shit over the years, and people, he's such a great producer. You can't win when you're dirty. We all have our crosses to bear. We're all going to get our shit eventually because life is just a circle. But you want to know something? That's what you get, Dre. And he wore that shirt. I never forget on Mother's Day. He happy motherfuckers day for Father's Day. I'm like, how disrespectful can you be? Look, if he's worth $1 billion, you spend it down the million. Yeah, he's real slick with it. So you know.
All right, so Maya, you're the judge. And I just want to know what your ruling is. She says that he tore up the prenup in front of her. Do you say that he has to pay half, or do you enforce the prenup and stick to the agreement, whatever that number is? Do you stick to the prenup? You're the judge.
If I can't find the prenup, then she getting half. But you know there was actually a case, Steven Spielberg and Amy Irving, when he wrote that damn prenup down on the napkin. That shit was binding. No, it wasn't binding, and she cleaned him out for half. You see, you ain't never heard from Amy Irving because she got so much damn money. She chilling. I ain't mad. Don't be stupid. I ain't blinded by that much love. I don't give a shit if you got to ride from here to Texas. You ain't getting half a shit of mine. Sorry. I love you, but not that much.
And Mary J. Blige's husband got half.
And Kim ain't do shit. He was literally a space taker, a professional space taker. And she waited to get married. She would have been better off marrying Casey. I mean, he was a dope head, but he wouldn't have did as dirty as Kim.
He a dope head, but it would have been an exciting few years, because
it was in the
early
like
a roller coaster, baby.
About Bobby and Whitney.
I know how you was gonna end that sentence. He a dope head, but what? That should eliminate it, Maya. He's a dope head. She should not have married that man.
Hey, bro,
but they would have had an exciting.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I would have just been entertained. You talk about entertaining. We be talking about them the whole fucking show.
All right, y'all. Look, we'll see what happens with both of those situations. I think Lou Will is finally he's got this story behind him. But that Magic City trip cost him a lot. 2 game checks and got snitched on. And we'll see if Dr. Dre, if Maya was the judge, Dr. Dre, you be coming off a half. I am so happy this week in the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. Up in the building, in the studio, we have our missing link. And I'm going to let him introduce himself because there's so many different accolades he comes with. This brother is the missing link this week is about medicine. We're talking about reintegrating sports in this COVID world. And we had our opinions last week, but now we got medicine. We got science on our side. Welcome to the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. None other than my Notre Dame brother, Dr. Eric Griggs, is in the building. What's up, Doc?
What up? Good morning. Boy, y'all getting to it, boy. Doctor, it's kind of rough to be a doctor on here this morning.
Yeah, man, we getting right into it. We talked about
Mike, I ain't leaving you nothing, but I'm sorry. Sorry. I ain't hearing nothing. Look, my shirt ain't got nothing on it. I am sorry.
Yeah. Hey, you come in, don't be acting like Dr. Dre. Yeah, you a better doctor.
I know, right?
At least you're a real doctor. He got his old lame ass.
Judge Maya is ruling with a heavy gavel this morning. Woo!
Straight up, she don't play. That's the Maverick. That is the Maverick. Dr. Griggs, I know that you were in New Orleans. You were doing God's work in more ways than one, brother. Just quickly, could give everybody a background of what you're doing there in New Orleans and the community that you're serving.
So I'm the Health and Wellness Ambassador for the state of Louisiana and the city of New Orleans. I am Community Medicine Director for Access Health Louisiana, and I'm the health educator for Fox 8 News here in New Orleans. We've been reporting and trying to figure this thing out every day on for COVID-19 and everything related to COVID. Been putting in about 18 to 20 hours a day since March 13th. I think Tuesday, I calculated my hours. I've done about 3,500 hours straight. We got to figure this thing out, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I am here on the side of science. I'm trying to stay as best I can, but it's tough sometimes. And we got these kids going back to school. So when I leave here, I have to go to the studio, and we got to talk about what's happening.
So I know that a lot of parents are concerned as they're thinking about bringing their kids back to school. I'm also concerned. I stand here as a, hold on, let me show it, my helmet. I am the proud head coach of the 9 and under team for the East Orange Junior Jaguars. Jaguars in the building.
Incorporated. Incorporated it. Yeah, you left something off. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I also have to be concerned about parents. And I ask you as a doctor to give me some guidelines. As a coach, how do I advise parents on what steps I'm taking to be safe, to make the environment safer for their kids? Are there any things that you think of when you think about Little League football and all these sports coming back? How would you advise coaches and parents what they should be looking for to make the environment safer?
So the first advice I can give to coaches on any level is I want you started advising parents, view yourself as a parent. Those kids, your little kids, the bigger kids, the high school kids, even the college kids, those are all someone's children. So you want to treat them and view them as you would yours. A lot of times we're suffering from COVID fatigue. We want to get back to sports as best we can. And the social experiment of trying to reopen is going to be a series of opening and closing. And it's the same level of trust that we try to have, that I hope that people try to have when I'm doing the best I can, trying to keep people informed. You want to be as honest as possible and as transparent as possible, and give parents full understanding that you're as concerned about their kids' safety as you are. We do know there are new studies that have come out. One of the reasons that we don't know, have a lot of data on kids, is that immediately when the virus first dropped, we put our babies up. Look, can I go play? No. Can I go to school? No. Can I go swimming? No. You stay home. Well, as a consequence, we didn't study them. There's no data. They didn't know anything about the transmission rate or if they could be infected until now. We do know that kids can be at least as infected in kids ages 0 to 5. There's a study out of Chicago that found that the virus in mild to moderate symptoms, like most kids are asymptomatic. They don't have any symptoms. But kids that have mild cases can concentrate the virus at get this, at 10 to 100 times that of adults.
Wow.
A 3-year-old baby that could sneeze would be the equivalent of a grown man and a grown woman multiplied by 50, 100 grown men and women sneezing at one time to transmit virus. Now that shows that
germ, straight germ. Wow. Okay.
That lets us, germ, right? Big germ, big worm, big germ. But that lets us know that kids can harbor the virus. Now that lets us know that kids can be infected. The other thing is what they did. There were other studies done in Italy and in South Korea that found that kids between the ages of 10 and 19 were at least, if not twice as infectious, able to transmit the virus to other people as adults. So knowing that, you want to take all of the precautions. You want to acknowledge all of that. You want to make sure parents have the option, and it's the option not to have their children pray and not to shame them, but to make them understand that they need to talk to their kids. The key is communication, because we're constantly finding things out about the virus every day. If a child tests positive, then you have to alert the parents so they can take the right precautions accordingly and let the team know. Like we're finding all this stuff out now. Like I said, I have to go on do my segment here in a minute about schools, and y'all gonna drop all this new information on me and put me up there like, what do you think? Like,
well, brother, you've been doing your thing. Go ahead, Ismail.
I'm sorry. Is it because little kids really don't wash their hands? Like, they're not very clean. Little kids don't know anything about
and that's
hygiene.
Being nice. They dirty,
like,
nasty.
They are walking like
I'm just talking about my kids.
Sorry. They don't wash their hands properly. They touch stuff. They stink. Like they're gross. So is that another reason why wipe out villages?
So that's an excellent question. A lot of people try to say kids are little petri dishes. They share everything, including all of their bugs, especially during this cold and flu season that's about to come up here in the fall. But that's not necessarily because what we're describing is things that we're finding out about this virus. It's really tough to conceptualize because we've only known about this virus for less than a year. And as we're finding out things on the science side, because of this age of information on Twitter and Instagram and you name it, the ticks, the talks, all that stuff, everyone's finding out information all at the same time. This is part of the scientific process. Normally we'd be doing this in a lab somewhere and writing stuff down, but because it's public and because it directly affects the way that we govern our families and our policies, it's shocking. It's just the nature of the virus. What happens is, if you remember, I think it was in Indiana. Last week they made a big deal about a kid that on the first day of school they tested and he was positive. Well, you haven't been testing before. Of course, if you haven't been testing and you put them in school and they get tested, they're going to come up positive. The virus possibly has been living in kids the whole time and we just didn't know it. Now, does that mean the kids need to wash their hands? No, I was just saying, does that mean the kids need to wash their hands and keep their hands and bugs to themselves? Yes. I'm sorry.
I would say the level of information that we do not know is just mind-boggling. Dr. Eric Griggs, I know you've got to get back to the studio, brother, and you got to continue to save lives, keep on informing people. I'm sure parents are going to be tuned in, figuring out how to get their kids back into school safely and feel good about it. So again, man, keep on doing great work. The fact that you played for Notre Dame is a fun fact, but the fact that you're doing so many great things now in New Orleans, brother, salute to you, man. Keep up the great work. And you are officially a friend of the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. You told me the missing link, whenever we need a medicine question answered, you got our back, right? Well, we appreciate it, brother. Have a good show, bro. We'll talk soon. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good day.
You too.
So you heard it there, right? It's basically so many things that we are still in the dark about. He's dealing with it on a daily basis. For me as a football coach, I'm trying to think of it from a standpoint as a parent and making it safe for these kids. But, you know, there have been now high school players. We saw a lot of college players opt out. Well, not a lot. We've seen some college players opt out. We've seen NFL players opt out, and we'll see what that means for their contract. We've seen NBA players opt out. I think the Bradley opt out with the Lakers is going to affect whether or not LeBron wins one. That's a big loss for them, especially with Rondo getting hurt. And now you've got high school players opting out. What do you guys think about that in terms of that decision that you need to make, your health versus your eligibility or your sports career? And how would you advise a young high school athlete that's already signed a scholarship? That's the story that came out that I posted today. What do you guys think about that decision?
No. If I gave birth to you, you staying with me. No.
You're not sending them back to school?
Absolutely not. No. You stay with me. Mama got it. You straight. Don't worry about schooling or anything else. I want to keep you alive. And by you not playing the sport, I'll get you a trainer. We'll keep you in shape and they'll preserve your body a little bit longer because I don't do funeral homes or cemeteries. So you stay with mommy.
Even though you don't have kids, you got maternal instinct. That sounded real motherly right there. I mean,
I'm a cancer. That's what
I feel it. The maestro, superhero DJ John Quick, your son, whether it's a high school football or wrestling, whatever sport, or college, what are you advising them now with so much unknown out there? Would you send them back in the COVID times and let them play?
No, exactly. I mean, there's too much that's unknown. You said the key word unknown, and like Maya said, it's a lot cheaper to keep your kids at home than to pay for those funeral costs. You know, right. And and I remember early on they were saying, well, you know, the kids could carry it, but they won't get sick. No, they're getting sick too. So until we have a better handle on this, it's better to err on the side of caution. In my opinion. Yeah.
I love this question, and so I'm gonna put it up there. Scott Bibb, who's one of our loyal listeners, thank you for continuing to tune in, Scott Bibb. And we ask everyone, please continue to like, comment, and share as we ask every week. But Scott Bibb asked, and I repeat that question: what about parents that work though? because that's what, Dr. Eric Griggs, when he's going on, I think he's going on Fox down there in New Orleans right now. He's going to answer that question for parents, because every parent doesn't have the option to work from home. Every parent doesn't have the financial means to provide childcare. So it seems as though there's a continued divide, and COVID has pointed out the haves versus the have-nots in this country. And there are going to be some people faced with some really ugly decisions that it's the lesser of two evils with the decision. So what do you guys think about that and sort of its impact on our community?
In my current situation, thank God I'm fortunate enough that I have the means to say, no, you're staying with me. I don't know if the shoe were on the other foot, that it would be a stretch, but I still rather deal with the fact that my child is safe and alive rather than not knowing and throwing caution to the wind. That it's just,
right.
The pros just don't, it just wouldn't sit right with me having that information. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
How about you, DJ John, quick? And I'm gonna go to another question here that I think is a good one. How about you?
Yeah, same thing. For me, it's just erring on the side of caution. Again, everybody doesn't have the same means to, be able to stay home and work and be able to watch the kids or afford babysitters or whatever. But if we're talking about high school kids, and college kids, I don't think that applies.
Babysitters. Right.
Yeah, they don't need babysitters.
You just need condoms. That's all you need.
A whole bunch of them.
True.
In bulk.
Ask. Turn it around because you.
Oh my God.
My man Casey Jacobs.
Come on now. We were all 16, 17, 18, and we all found a way to.
I shall not confirm or deny. My mama up in heaven listening. Mama, I shall not confirm or deny what Miss Maya's talking about.
Lady. She knew what was.
Especially because I left a rapper in the thing one time. That's a whole different topic. And I got them hands. You hear me? But anyway, Casey Jacobs, my man, his first time listener. So I wanted his question. We just deal with it quickly. What are your thoughts on AAU world? Some states are shut down and some are wide open with tourneys still happening. Hoop seems to be one of the riskiest sports to share germs. And Casey, I'll just speak to this quickly because I've dealt with it again as an AAU coach. I talked about the options that my players have. Those are more than just my players. That's family to me. Those are my babies, and I treat them like my own kids. The options that they have. I think that COVID, if we do shut down all programs, is going to have an unbelievable negative impact on the uptick in crime, uptick in gang activity. Because while those kids, my babies in that park, if you tell them they can't come to that park, mom and daddy ain't at home in quarantine because a lot of them have jobs where they can't be, or some of them just don't see the significance and appreciate how unbelievable this pandemic is. So they're moving around. They don't have any guidance. And so I think sports has to be back to a certain degree, but we have to do it in a smart and safe way. So I'm glad Dr. Eric Griggs gave us some guidelines on that. Now, this the Ball Hog halftime report, y'all. The halftime report goes like this, and it's my turn today to do the halftime report. We all gonna have a halftime report, so you're warned. Be warned. The halftime report today is brought to you by B. Brown, and the halftime report is about today. The moment that I had this week where I found myself cleaning out the trunk. I posted this disclosure that let everybody know I emptied out the trunk because any just-in-case sports moments ain't happening no more. I emptied out my football cleats. I emptied out those basketball hoop shoes that I had in there just in case. My ankle braces, my wrist wrap that I had in my trunk just in case. Even my goldies, even my hot boots, because ain't gonna be no just-in-case moments. Now, that don't mean I won't go play a game or two of basketball, but we got to put that thing on the Outlook calendar. I got to stretch. I got to do breathing technique. I got to be ready mentally before I go play a sport. And unless your name is Tom Brady, Drew Brees, or Vince Carter, if you are 40 plus, I'm going to welcome you to the club. It is time for you to take
You know this, man.
Yes, it's time for you to take the cleats, take the basketball shoes, take the ankle wraps out of the back of your trunk, because that's going to lead to a torn Achilles. We got to face reality, and the halftime report is brought to you by not Ben Gay, but somebody who needs Ben Gay. Not by Icy Hot, but somebody that needs Icy Hot. This halftime report is brought to you by the ball hog himself. Take them shoes and them cleats out your trunk. It's over. Deal with
And buy some Febreze, because that picture was stinking. I smelled it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That's how you know I went in, though. Yeah, they was a bit funkified.
That picture looked funky. I was like, ugh.
It was a bit funkified. They were. That's exactly what happened. You try to go out there and just unannounced, put on some basketball shoes and D up. That's just how it's gonna feel. Finish him when your ACL snap. It's over, y'all. We 40 plus. Let's just deal with it. And that's our halftime report today.
And you know this, man.
We got a request, y'all. And so DJ John Quick, I know how it is when you in the DJ booth and somebody comes up and make a request. The maestro, don't you love it when somebody tries to make a request? You love that, right?
Exactly. No. No. And you have to remember, Bob, you know, back in the day when we could actually go to the club.
Right. Back in the day.
There's a lot of alcohol involved. And depending on the chemical makeup of that person, when certain alcohols are partaken of, you know, the breath and the alcohol is it could be a problem. So
smell like my trunk.
I know if I DJ again, if you do DJ in public again, I'm going to request a bubble. I'm going to request a bubble like the
Straight
NBA.
Up.
I don't want nobody coming near me. Yep, I'm gonna have a whole bubble around the DJ booth because I don't want your It's bad enough with COVID, but COVID and bad breath, that's not.
Yeah, that's a bad combination. You know what I'm saying? That's what my boy used to say when he got mad. He's like, you know, bro, your line and your breath stink. That's a bad combination. If you're gonna lie, at least put a piece of gum in your mouth if you're gonna lie. You lying and your breath stink.
Okay, let's help the listeners who are a little tart. If you speak to someone directly in their ear, away from their face, more than likely that hot ass breath is going to go past and they won't know it. Don't get up in someone's face when you had gin. You sweat out gin. Do you know how bad that smells? And you think you're going to get some ass talking to a chick? That's why you go home with blue balls. Ain't nobody trying to give you
Did you just did blue balls just make an appearance on the Ball Hog Sports Talk? Blue balls?
We're talking about balls, right?
It is the Ball Hog Sports Talk, and blue balls just made an appearance. We had a request from another doctor, Dr. Adam, who we've had on the show. And because he's been on the show, I'm going to grant his request. He wanted us to get in. He said he's waited for it. He's anticipated it. Now it's time to get in. We got to talk about our guy from TCU, the head coach, Gary Patterson from TCU, which stands for Texas Christian University, ironically. This week, good old Gary dropped the N-bomb. And so we got a new segment, y'all, because in the South, and if you're not from the South, you got a cousin in the South. That's just all black migration came through the South somehow, some way. So you know somebody, and you respect the South. So you've heard the saying, you know, happier than a pig in slop. Y'all heard that saying. That means that, you know, because a pig is happy in slop, right? But only a pig is happy in slop. We gonna point out a few people that get to join the pig in the slop. We're gonna throw you in the slop this morning. If you did something ridiculous, something stupid this week, and the maestro, superhero DJ John Quick, you get to decide. Does the head coach of TCU, does he go in the slop this week for using the N-word, and his team then walked out of the meeting or the practice?
Absolutely.
She couldn't wait. I know. You put him in the slop.
He goes in the slop. He goes in the slump with
but
the,
all
with
he
the
did was
nastiest
repeat.
things.
He repeated. Let's be clear. He repeated what one of the
There's
players
no,
said.
there's
So
no, listen,
what?
Bob, there's no reason for him to have repeated it. All he had to say is, you know, I don't want you saying the N-word. That's all he had to say. He's a freaking educated man and a leader of educated young men. So all he had to do was say, hey, I don't want you using the N-word in practice. That's all he had to say. I felt like he just wanted to feel that on his tongue, on his lips.
He wanted to get it
you know
off.
what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, exactly. So
He felt
any,
good saying it.
he gets no sympathy from me. You know,
Yeah,
none.
it probably
Like,
rolled
nah,
off
bro.
his tongue.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like,
the
nah,
report
bro,
say
nah.
the report say not to qualify. And shout out to Love Dog, who's always on here and challenging me to get rid of that word in my vernacular, my own vocabulary. Get rid of the N-word. He's challenged me. He said we got to put pressure on all black folks to stop using the N-word.
I disagree.
But you disagree. All right, so
I
we'll get
disagree.
into that. We'll get into that another time. But I was just gonna say, and you could take it from there, Maya. But I was just gonna say, they said he pronounced it with the ER, not the A. That's how they qualify.
I will say this.
What do you think?
First of all, remember as a child, like if you heard your mom say something, like if someone said a curse or whatever, your mom is like, what did they say? And they said you could say, but you're like, mommy, she said the A word. Like you can fix it so you don't actually say the word. He wanted to say it. That's a cop out. And the last thing I'm going to say about this is that Black people can say the word. White people, I don't give a shit if you're explaining whatever. That word should not be in your vocabulary. You cannot do everything because you think you can. You have been raised and reared to believe that everything you do is great. The world is your oyster. You can act accordingly. You cannot. You say that word in front of me, I'm going to donkey kick you either in your balls or your fucking throat. Do not use the word around me. It's just that simple.
How about a variation of it? How about ninja? How about ninja?
We ain't Asian. Don't use no fucking say N-word or don't even use it. Change it. You do not have the liberties to say it because I have the liberties to knock the shit out of you. Don't say that word.
Right,
we ain't cool like that.
Well, it looks like then at some point we got to schedule this. We got to have a debate on just the use of the N-word by our people. I think we all agree that Gary Patterson was way out of line by using that word. And shout out to
use a word that's been used to degrade us. We took it. Why is it that the people who can't? Why are you so anxious to use the word anyway? Like, is your dick gonna go flat if you can't say the word? Like, come on.
I think we all agree that he should not have said the word. And most people with a sound mind, most leaders, like you're charged with leading men, could have easily made the adjustment and called it the N-word. Mm-hmm. So Gary Patterson, yes, you go in the slop. You go in the slop, drag him out into the slop, let him hang with the pigs.
Do the backstroke in the slop.
Does he say crackers when he's referring to the poor white trash players on his team? I'm sure he doesn't say honky and cracker. So why do you think it's okay to say nigga? Shut your white mouth.
Well, I knew for some reason I knew you would have an opinion on it, Maya, and you did not disappoint me whatsoever on it. Now I want to hear your opinion. We got to debate this, and I'm going to put this on the calendar. Are we, as Black folk, doing more disservice to our cause by using the word? We don't have to have the debate now, but I'm putting that on the calendar. We got to schedule it. There's another coach that I want to put before the slop committee. We got this court to decide if they go in the slop, baby. And it was this Nick Rolovich. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But the Washington State University's coach, there was a wide receiver that told the coach that he's going to opt out because of COVID reasons. He's more susceptible to catching it. And the coach said, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you opting out because of health reasons. And then he started talking to this player and said, but if you're going to join this coalition that the Pac-12 has, and you're going to then try to advocate to get paid, just know that your scholarship might not be granted. Now, two things. In this social justice world, these doggone recordings, because that brother he hit record on coach. These recordings are the MVP. And then the second thing, does he go in the slop for making that statement? Should your decision to be in a coalition with other players and speak up for your right and use the leverage of being a college football player, should that cost you your scholarship?
You had when you posted it earlier this week, there was a gentleman, Scott something, not Scott Bibb. It was someone from Florida. He said, when the coach asked him, like, if it's COVID, it's fine. But when he took that next step and said, because if you're joining this COVID, you should have stopped at asking him if it was health related. Now, the young man has sickle cell. So
Right.
he has a plethora of other issues in addition to that. How dare you, coach, white coach, going back to the debate why I don't think that black kids should go to PWIs because these white coaches don't know shit about us. Why would you feel comfortable enough to come out your face and say something to this young man about joining the social justice group? Whether he joins it or not does not stop you from making money. Mind your business, and you got caught. I'm so glad that young man had the know-with-all to record him, because you could tell he was a little snake-ass trying to be slick-ass coach, because he wouldn't have denied it. That's what you get. That's what your punk ass get. And I hope every single young athlete gets the hip to the game and be like, you can't trust these fucking people. They got thin lips. You can't trust them. You got to record them. And that's exactly what he did.
There's so many instances of players around the country playing college football that had a similar conversation with a coach that they didn't feel comfortable with, but didn't have the technology to capture it. And it wasn't even an activist group. This coalition is basically trying to create leverage for the players and, create sort of a collective where they have more leverage together. There's strength in numbers. So I'm taking you to the slop, Nick, or however you say your last name, Rolovic.
Rolling the slop. This is what I'm saying. People are injecting. These coaches take liberties with these athletes. Like, no, it's not your place. Right. They go so far across the line when they're supposed to be the things they're supposed to do to help the players, like ensuring that they go pro and that their money is set up. Oh, that has nothing to do with us. That has nothing to do with us. But when the player has the sense to stand up for themselves, here they come trying to get them in check. Man, sit your ass down. Don't tote that fine line. If you're going to be with me and support me as an athlete, and you come in my mother's living room and say you care so much about me and you're going to look out for me, then you look out for me in all aspects, not just one you cherry pick that's beneficial to you. I can't stand these fucking coaches, man.
I'm giving you the last word on that, because as we pivot and hear that this joining a coalition caused this reaction from a coach, this is amazing. The Big Ten, I posted it today, had their demands. And we're in this space now that, activism is a part of sports. Today's show episode is the collard greens with caviar episode. And I'm going to tell you why. 2 reasons. First, shout out to my boys from Coffee for Your Soul. I was supposed to appear this week. I got caught up at the field and I did not show up. So I will be on their podcast soon. My boy Dimitri, my boy John from St. Thomas, shout out to them. But I looked at their title and it inspired me to think about what, and their title or their topic was activism in sports this week. So we're going to take that for this segment, and it has caused this title, right? Collard greens with caviar, because there's a lot of woke folk right now, especially in sports. Stephen A pointed it out. My man, the maestro, DJ John Quick, posted Stephen A's statement, basically saying, okay, it's good to see all these brothers in the NBA kneeling. It's good to see all of these social activism T-shirts in the respective sports. But where were y'all in 2016? And he makes a good point. He would say, where were you when it wasn't popular, when it wasn't trendy to be an activist and to speak out? Where were you? And that's why this topic, collard greens with caviar, is our title, because there's a lot of woke folk right now who drinking the tea with their pinky out, eating the caviar, living both lives, and enjoying the spoils of the sacrifices other people have made. And I want to deal with it. Where are we in terms of activism in sports? Colin Kaepernick gets his due respect, but I do appreciate Stephen A asking, where were you? Even looking at the Big Ten and seeing that these players framed everything in terms of a demand, there's a very privileged approach that some of these athletes are taking towards activism. And I thought activism should be uncomfortable. That is what Colin Kaepernick did. It was very uncomfortable. He risked it all, literally, in terms of his football career. What do you guys think about Stephen A's comment? You posted it, the maestro, DJ John, quick. I'll let you start. Give me some direction on this. Am I reading too much into it? Collard greens with caviar. Are some of these woke folk just playing the role of being woke, but at the same time, eating on caviar behind very plush, relaxed, comfortable doors?
No, I mean, it's just a fair question. Like, where were you? Why now? I get it. We've had in the last, couple months, we've had some graphic examples of what we've been complaining about for hundreds of years, but,
right.
Back in 2016, we had my brother Colin, big shout out to Colin, his girl Nessa, those are my people, you know what I'm saying? Nessa's my Hot 97 sister, so all that to say is, like that man, he took a knee, and in a league that I believe is like over 1,500 players, maybe 16 participated with him back in 2016, maybe between 16 and 18. I can't remember the exact number.
Wasn't a lot, right?
It wasn't a lot, and I was disappointed. I was actually very surprised because I don't think a lot of the times players understand that you do have a degree of leverage. And you should be using your platform aside from just, I get it, you got to take care of your family and everything, but you have some leverage there, and a peaceful protest is not breaking any laws, and I think Colin would be in the league right now if he had more support from his players back in 2016. That's what I think.
I agree.
So Stephen A, you think makes a good point in terms of where were these players, where was the sacrifice? And you look at now the Navy SEAL training video with the dogs. Go ahead.
One more last thing about Stephen A. Like, he made a fair point, but he still ain't come along. And I'm still waiting for his hairline to grow back.
You're going to be waiting a long time for that one.
He's still playing ignorant, holding that fine white line. It's great that he's calling people out, but you still caught up in the matrix, my man.
Well, you know what, though? To be fair on his part, he said that he wouldn't have kneeled, and he's still saying he wouldn't have kneeled. But I've heard him I've heard him on many occasions defend Colin Kaepernick's right to kneel. So at least he's being real. Like
and he's being consistent, even if we don't agree with him.
But that part I can respect. He's been consistent.
He has been
consistently wrong because he ain't going.
In my opinion, I agree.
ESPN money. He know who signs his check, so he gonna be I ain't with it or whatever. Yeah. I wish I saw him outside. I donkey kick him in his balls.
Just for the record. That might be the 5th time you done kick somebody in their balls, but there's one show.
I know. Somebody said in the comments
every time, man, that thing hurt, man. Every time you say it with such emphasis.
Good. I want it to hurt. So y'all stop that foolishness. I bet all it takes is one swift kick to some low-hanging balls. Y'all get y'all shit together.
I'm going to raise my hand and say, yes, that'll get me in line. It would only take once for me. Yeah, straight up.
Bro, have you ever been like squarely kicked in the balls?
Yes, once in my life.
Like,
so the time I'm talking about is not theoretical. It took once, never again. I'm good.
I can't even explain. Like, I fell like trees in the forest, the big timber. I mean, it wasn't catching the fall. I mean, I felt like boom.
You couldn't breathe. Your eyes on the back of your head.
I felt it all over my neck.
Yeah. So mine, every time you say that with so much emphasis, every man on here remembers that moment. Oh my gosh. We got to deal with this part of it when activism in sports, because I also posted an article that talked about how sports is making Jay-Z look dumb. And Jay-Z made a statement and said that we're beyond kneeling now, and asked about Kaepernick. He never denounced Kaepernick, but he said that we're beyond kneeling now. He's been scrutinized for his relationship with the NFL and Roger Goodell. I'll give you guys the quick bit of response first, and then I'll deal with it quickly before we hop to the next topic. But Jay-Z, activism in sports, was his statement that we're beyond kneeling now is the fact that all the players in all the sports are kneeling. Does that make him look like an idiot?
Yes. And this is why he hedged his bets to the wrong horse. Before this, when he signed up with the NFL and decided to do this whole thing, this is pre-COVID. You see how people fall when they do fuck shit? He aligned himself with the NFL. More than likely, there's not going to be a season. Okay. And we're right past kneeling. I think a lot of people are so used to instant gratification. I want to change. I want to change to happen right now. That's not how revolutions work. No. It's over a period of time. Colin kneeled, 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago.
Right.
And you see, we are finally getting to a point where people like, oh shit, he was actually right. So then change doesn't happen overnight. So for him to think because he walking around here, I'm a billionaire, you look billionaire camel, you, like I said, you bet your money with the wrong fucking group, and now you look crazy because the only thing you did was get Shakira and J-Lo to do a halftime show. No one gives a fuck about either or. They're watching the game. The game is going to decline because no one's going to play, and you look crazy. So you did all this for what? What did you accomplish? Colin still has an impact after he risked it all when you piggybacked off of him and sided with the devil. I can't take you seriously. I can't take you seriously because you don't even comb your hair. So that's all.
The maestro, DJ John Quick, what do you think about it? Is the embracing of activism in sports, does that make Jay-Z look like a complete idiot or stupid as it said, or dumb as it said in the article?
I'm not going to be. I mean, I don't think he should have said we're past kneeling, but I'm not going to be as harsh because I know that quote was taken out of context. I heard the entire interview, and he actually gave Colin his props, and he said it was needed. I think what he was trying to say, he wasn't as eloquent as he probably should have been, was like, okay, we've kneeled, now where do we go? That's what he needed to say.
Right.
You know, and that's a fair point. Like we can't, I mean, kneeling is symbolic. It was powerful. It's powerful imagery. It was needed to bring attention to everything. But okay, now that we have your attention, now, okay, what should we be doing now? And I think that's what he was trying to say, but it came out all screwed up. And
he's not articulate at all.
Let me finish. So I will say this, you know, Jay has done a lot for the movement. So I was one of them dudes. I wasn't gonna let that screw up just, you know, erase everything he's done for the movement and what he continues to do for the movement. So I think we as a people, we do that too, because nobody's perfect. Our leaders are not perfect. And not saying that he's a leader, but you know, I think
well, he is. He's a business leader. He's definitely a business leader.
He is. But I think this whole cancel culture, he screwed up. You let him know he screwed up. But at the same, like even this past week, it was just reported he's opening up a school at LIU for sports. I believe it's, let me see, I have it here.
Sports and entertainment. Yep.
Yeah.
Sports and entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So, and this dude, you know, his foundation gives out, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars of scholarships every year. You know, this dude has been paying for Black Lives Matter protesters to get out of, you know, posting their bond for years. I don't want to talk about the prison reform in Mississippi, you know, working with, you know, probation situations in Philadelphia, you know, with Meek Mills. He's done a lot. So I'm not going to let one screw up, you know, just knock him out, like make me hate him or whatever and dismiss him and call him a coon. I'm not going to do that. That's just not how I roll. But I understand why people would be angry, though. I get that. And to be honest, with the whole NFL linking up, you know, most empires are kind of taken over from the inside. So I've always believed we needed somebody on the inside, and not even saying the NFL was so much. I mean, I mean, my thing is this: I'm still pissed at them that Colin doesn't have a job. So I feel like, okay, if you're going to get inside, that should be one of your priorities. That should be one of your priorities to make sure Colin gets a fair shake. And even if it's not actually playing on the football field, he needs to be brought in terms of his whole, you know, expertise in this whole social activism movement. I think that would have been just as great, if not greater. But
I've said that
I've
said that for a while, that there's a role for him in sports. Maybe if it's not football, there's a role for him in sports.
I agree.
As well.
I agree.
And I had planned to be the contrarian here, because I thought you were going to go in a different direction with that with John Quick when it came to Jay-Z. But you said some of the things that I believe in too when it comes to, I just believe we can walk and chew gum at the same time. So while people are kneeling and continue to kneel, I think his statement, because he was not eloquent enough in explaining it thoroughly, meant that we've also got to get beyond it and take the next steps. So we'll leave it there. We'll come back.
So one last thing. So he needs to go from a camel to a Trojan horse, basically. He needs to change from within, the NFL from within.
I hope so. But I do think that his song, The Story of OJ, when he talks about Dumbo and not being wise enough at some point in his life to buy the property, and now seeing what that property is worth, there's some carryover to what he was trying to say when he said we're beyond kneeling. He just didn't say it very well. All right, so
he didn't. That's why I can understand why people were mad. I mean, it sounded terrible. Like, what? So I went, when he first said it, I was like, what? And then I had to go back and listen to the whole thing. I said, okay, I get what he was saying, but it was sloppy. It was sloppy. That's facts.
All right, so we're down to
not articulate.
The last stretch, the final stretch. We're coming around the corner, and we got to come home all the way through the finish line. There's no better way to do this than to tee up Mars versus Venus segment. And the Mars versus Venus segment today is the unbelievable story that happened this week in the WNBA. You had Andre Iguodala, who is, an NBA vet. Everybody knows him. Andre Iguodala was watching a WNBA game. And what's her name? Ariel. I better know her name. Ariel Powers. Because that's what triggered the whole beef. Ariel Powers is a player for the Washington Mystics and who is the reigning WNBA champs. Andre Iguodala was watching a game. He liked this particular player, Ariel Powers, and he tweeted number 2-3 or 2-3 is nice. And nice, using the sports jargon, mean, oh, girl can play.
Yeah.
Instead of taking that as a compliment, she fired back and said, basically, you should know my name. And a lot of her WNBA colleagues joined in, and they even used the hashtag, which they devoted their season to from a social activist standpoint, say her name, which normally applies to all of the black females that have been on the wrong end of police brutality. But she used it in this case and said, say my name instead of just calling me 23. Do you think that Ms. Ariel Powers, the WNBA star that she is, do you think she overreacted? And where do we go from here in terms of, because look, we tried to solve the whole business problem of the WNBA. We didn't know that this was coming down the pike. So let's solve this marketing issue that WNBA has because of this Mars versus Venus moment. An NBA player versus a WNBA player. Who was right? Did she overreact?
I don't think she overreacted, and this is why. Not just because I have ovaries, but if he looks,
that's a scientific term.
You can literally Google.
Why you got to refer to ours as balls and then you say ovaries when it comes to
women? Right?
Anyway, go ahead. Right. Y'all get the scientific term. We just get balls. Go ahead.
That's what they are. They just take up space and you can squish them. No, I'm sorry.
No. So painful.
Good. Now, for instance, like my name is Maya, but so many people have misspelled it, and I'll correct you. And they'll spell it like the singer, N-Y-A. And I'm like, no, it's spelled like Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou has done a hell of a lot more for the world than Maya the singer. So I need you to be conscious of it. And if you see my name, how you gonna misspell it? What is wrong with you? Are you fucking dense?
I've watched this happen. I've witnessed it. You will correct somebody for not spelling your name right.
That's right, because
check the receipts.
Exactly. It just shows a lack of it just shows laziness. Now, when she said you need to get my name right, Absolutely. We learned how to spell Iguodala. You know, we learned how to say and pronounce his name correctly.
And you know this.
Yeah.
Man.
And then he gets mad when she calls him out. Like, oh, it ain't that serious. And it was a whole bunch of dudes on the fucking thread like, oh, she overreacted, whatever. Shut the fuck up. Why are you so dismissive when it comes to a woman speaking up for herself? Like, yeah, say my fucking name. I'm going to call you AU boy number 23. The only 23 that I know of is Michael Jordan. And I get what he was saying to some sort of reference, but stop being so fucking lazy. Hit up Google right quick and be like, Ariel Powers, you did that. Now he's in a position of power because he's in the NBA. People know who he is. I don't know how many Twitter followers he has. I'm sure he has a shit ton more than her. But it's just like, damn, you that fucking lazy? Seriously? And then get mad when you get called out. He needs to get kicked in his fucking balls. Lazy fucker.
So you taking him to the slot. I know.
Oh yeah. He gonna get mad because somebody called him out.
He did get upset.
He ain't chin-checking no dude because some dude will step to him and be like, what the fuck you said? They be fighting in the bubble. So they need to fucking scale back on that.
Just for the record, there are some women in the WNBA who will also step to him, squared up and ready to go. That's all I'm going to say about that.
You know this, man.
This is the problem with people. Like, you get mad when you get called out when you wrong. Just take that L, be like, yeah, you know what? You absolutely right. My bad. I don't mean to be. He could have squashed him, but like, no disrespect. I'm just bigging you up. You know, with reverence to MJ, and kept it moving. He got all of his little bitch Iguodala feelings and had to retort. So he deserved all that fucking heat that came his way. Ain't nobody stunting him with his old 6-man ass. Get the fuck out of here.
Finish him.
Hey, well, look, I get mad when people call me out too. I can't stand when somebody behind me and blow the horn. I don't care if I'm stuck at the light and I ain't. Don't blow your horn at me.
You be texting anyway.
Right. Stop blowing your horn at me. I know. Who cares if I'm wrong? And that's kind of what Iguodala did. The maestro, superhero DJ John Quick. What do you think about it? Was her reaction an overreaction?
I think Maya hit it dead on the nail in terms of he was just lazy. I don't think I know for a fact that he didn't mean any like bad feelings towards her when he called her, said, hey, 23 is nice, but it was lazy. It was lazy. And bro, you got a platform and that's your sister league, But
isn't Twitter naturally lazy? Like, look, our president just tweets things out recklessly.
Agreed.
So people just go and give a bunch of characters. So less is more when it comes to tweeting sometimes. Yeah, and he just wanted to put it out there that he just watched her put in work. By the time he would have researched her name,
but yeah,
my
thing is this. My thing, if you're watching a game, like what are you watching it with the volume?
They didn't call her 23. You should at least heard right.
Bob, he watched it enough to know that she was nice. So my thing is, if I'm watching a game and I see, some kid, woman or man doing work, I'm gonna find out like, yo, who is this dude? Who is this girl?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all he had to do. So what he should have, his response instead of, because his initial response was like no manners or something like that.
No manners. Yeah. Ooh.
My bad.
Get back in the kitchen. No manners is basically get back in the kitchen
and left it at that.
Yeah.
That's it. But
I think they both overreacted.
Manners, I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, I think they both overreacted. I think that her response, I think she could have been like, hey, bro, know my name, and left it sort of in more of a joking standpoint. Like they could have joked around because that's what ball players do at the end of the day. And she's an amazing ball player, right?
Yes.
If you come to my domain, you step to me, check the ball. Let me show you what I got. I didn't think I thought she took it personal, and I thought he took it real personal that she took it personal. I thought they both overreacted, to be honest. And you see the backlash, or at least the follow-up when it comes to the Mars and Venus divide. It's almost split right down the middle. All guys are talking about, see, that's why we don't watch the NBA. Y'all so quick to be upset and got your feelings on your sleeve. That's why don't nobody watch it. And then women are like, she's right. She's right. Call her by her name because she not only made a good play, but she's a WNBA star on the reigning WNBA championship team. And it's almost split right down the middle. I think it really just speaks to how we communicate different. Men and women communicate differently. We do.
Also, Bob, but you also got to keep in mind the the whole our new reality in terms of women, especially Black women, not feeling supported, not feeling unseen, and that's what I think he's missing. That's what I.
But she was seen. It was verified that she was seen because he was watching the game, or he
he was.
That
But again, bro, he was. I mean, at the end of the day, my personal, I just think it was lazy. Like, damn, man, you said she was nice. I figured you'd find out who the hell she was.
Right.
It was a half-hearted attempt, and this is why. Thank you, John, because that Black women, like, we over there, George Floyd, we know his whole background and everything, and Black men, we like Breonna Taylor, they like what, scratching their hats and shit, and it's like, who are you to tell somebody how to react to being fucking disrespected? You're not go. That's just like somebody saying, "Hey, you tall Black guy," and Bobby saying, "Yo, my name is Bob. Like, call me by my name." And somebody like, "Well, I know your name, so I just called you by your description." Nah, motherfucker. If you want to say something to me, everybody goes to Google for everything else. You want some ass, you go to Google. You do everything for Google, but your ass was too fucking lazy to Google. With his underbite, he better chill out. He ain't even a superstar, nigga.
If you have any problems with your dental aesthetics, Maya's gonna point it out. I never realized the man had an underbite. You just made that known.
Word.
I could probably give you his career stats before I could tell you that he had an underbite. But look, even in the Ball Hawk Sports Talk, you look at the comment section, it's almost split right down the middle. Scott Bibb says just because he should have known her name doesn't justify intense backlash and cancellation. Because yes, people are canceling.
But sorry, no one said he had to know her name. That's not what people are saying. The fact of the matter is people are saying that's hella lazy. They're pointing out his laziness. He doesn't have to know her name. I didn't know who Ariel Powers was until this whole thing blew up. But if I see something, I'm not going to be like, yeah, 23 now. If I tweet 23, people are going to automatically assume Jordan. Why is that so hard for people?
No, I think, but he said 23. I think he said 23 from the Mystics or 23 from it was connected to the game. But I'll say this. But look, right down the middle, because now we have Tara. Thank you for joining again, Tara. She says better put some respect on her name. And you look down, and then now we have Hank. What up, good bro? The 7th D Bros is in the house. Hank says he watched, complimented, and was criticized for it. I'd say the same thing about the new NBA dudes. These new NBA dudes. So it's like, it's almost split right down the middle. And I think it speaks to the way that we communicate. When I first initially heard it, I'm like, yo, he gave her props. And then I started reading some of the commentary from the other WNBA players. And I started realizing that I was kind of out of touch when it came to that, as John Quick put it, that looming unappreciated sort of stance that women have and Black women have, the sort not being appreciated by their Black men who they protect. I never saw it that deep. I never saw it that deep. I didn't.
He doubled down and got his feelings hurt. So donkey kick to the balls, Andre.
All right, so it sounds like you taking Andre Iguodala to the slop too. Everybody going to the slop. Maya dragging y'all in. Hope you can swim.
But you coming out like the fall on your sword, nigga. Take that L. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, honestly, I understand. Like I get what he was saying. He's basically saying like, "Damn, I was trying to compliment you, but I mean,
he could have said that. But so here's the thing. That he should have said exactly that. And that's why I said they both overreacted. I think she overreacted to his initial tweet. Yeah. I think he overreacted to her overreaction, because if he would have just said that, DJ John Quick, if he'd have just said that, the maestro, listen to how it sounds differently. You're a musical man. Listen to how it sounds differently. Mind your manners, or I was just trying to compliment you. They're the same thing, but they sound very different.
My bad.
Yeah, that's what he should have said. My bad.
I was just trying to compliment.
Yeah, if he had said that, it'd have been done.
We wouldn't even be talking about it. Exactly. But like I said, he doubled down on his bitch shit, And then we came for him because he's wrong. You men, yeah, I'm calling out men, and y'all can send fucked up comments. I don't give a shit because I don't keep y'all in the
Here we
ball.
go.
Hey, here we go. I don't appreciate, like, when somebody calls somebody out, like I said, just own it. Your fucking pride gets bruised, and then y'all like, oh, fuck that shit. And then y'all try to like throw jabs. Ain't nobody stunting y'all. Fuck y'all. I don't need you to compliment. I know my game good. Fuck you. I'm a champion just like you a champion. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, I got to shout out Ellis Reed. He did bring up a legit point, and I know this for a fact, and I know you do, Bob. Ball players call them people by numbers all the time. I ain't gonna front. I remember when Moss was playing, he referred to himself as 88. Or, you know what I'm saying? He never said Moss.
Well, 84, so, right. But people do all the time. I mean, Ocho Cinco, his nickname is his number.
That is part of professional sports culture as well. So that has to be taken into account too. But I agree. I think his response threw her off. Like I really think that he should have said, "Yo, my bad. I'm just trying to give you a compliment."
He could have did it. He
could have said that. If he had said that, and she still went at him, then she would have been overreacting.
I didn't think his response was bad.
The one that started.
I didn't think his initial tweet was bad. I thought his reaction to her reaction was what was misogynistic.
That was problematic.
Because mind your manners. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, really?
That felt like get back in the kitchen to me. That felt like that.
Exactly,
I gotta be honest.
You hit it dead on the nail. Yep.
Yeah, that's what that felt like.
Mind your manners. Take your ass back to Philly when you ain't do nothing. Get the fuck out of here.
Actually, he was an all-star in Philly, to be
He was a bad man.
That was actually his best time. But they were crappy.
They ain't win. He didn't take them to the finals.
No, he did not.
Exactly.
So I'll say this, and we'll get off of it. But if you watch the comments, and I thought it was interesting for us to deal with this Mars versus Venus moment, because it was almost split evenly down the line between men saying just the initial tweets, she overreacted, and then women saying, man, absolutely, he should know that woman's name, and if he doesn't know the name, have enough respect for her to go find it. So, we got somebody who called it.
NBA Finals MVP.
He did not earn that Finals MVP.
That was in Golden State.
It was in State. Yeah,
in Golden State. But I couldn't believe they gave him that NBA Finals MVP. He did not deserve it, but he did get it.
Not at all.
He is now the MVP of getting drugged through the mud, drugged through the slop, because women is not really feeling your response, bro. I think they both overreacted at different points in the exchange. Shout out to Ariel Powers, though. Good for her. I love the fact she didn't back down.
How to react to something, Bobby? How are you not telling her how to react? What I'm saying is just that because men do that shit all the time. You're overreacting because a woman responds to. They don't give them the response they anticipate. You're overreacting.
And when men say that, when men say that in the midst of an argument,
specific. And coming from a clinical background, that's the worst thing you can say to somebody.
I was gonna say, and when a man says that in the middle of an argument, you're overreacting. Normally, it leads to gas on the fire. But look, from where we sit in the seats that we're in, from the Ball Hawk Sports Talk, I'm just viewing it in terms of what score am I giving both of their responses, and I just think that her initial response to a 2-3 got game. She could have said the same thing. She could have said, "Hey, thank you," because now look, we just analyzed and modified his response. She could have said, "Thank you," but next time, make sure you know 23 is Ariel Powers. She could have said that, and it would have been a little less. Her initial response.
So she's supposed to have more energy with her response, besides his lazy ass Googling 23 Washington Mystics. Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here with that.
I think what Bob saying is fair. Like, she could have said thanks, but know my name next time.
But know my name.
She didn't have to say thanks. Why the fuck I got to say
You're right. She didn't have to, but I'm saying I don't think it would have gotten to that point if she said thanks.
If she said,
would have got to that point if he said mind your manners. That to me, that was the most. That's insulting,
Wait.
bro.
It escalated quickly. Escalated.
That's a
quickly.
reflection of my parents, damn near.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Now you said I wasn't raised right. You talking about what you say about my mama?
Exactly.
The first
Like,
thing
what,
that
bro?
comes to mind, think of an everyday scenario that women go through when the dude is like, girl, you need to smile. Get the fuck out my face. Oh, girl, why you being so disrespectful? First of all, I don't have to do shit you tell me to do. Who the fuck are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Secondly, you felt the need to come out your face and push up. I feel the need to kick you in the balls. Don't come out your face to me. I have every right to ignore you. Oh, you can't speak? Who the fuck are you? What, you my daddy? Get the fuck out of here. Why do women always have to justify their actions and men it's just like, that's just what we do? No, get the fuck out of here. Now Bobby, no, somebody come up to me, hey girl, excuse you? Like, nigga, if I'm in a bad mood, you may get kicked. Get the fuck away from me. Leave me the fuck alone. You are not familiar. Stop taking liberties when you have none. I am not that girl. I ain't thirsty for no dick. Get the fuck up out my face and stop talking to me.
Hey, I'll say this, and you are absolutely right. Women go through being objectified on a daily basis. And look, now that I got this handlebar mustache, I feel you. Women look at me differently now. I'm being objectified. Yeah, they see a black man with a mustache, with a handlebar mustache, and I get objectified too. So I hear you, Maya. I do. All I'm saying is that initially, and it's not about the words that he chose or the words that she chose. I think that when there's a cultural thing among ball players, and this woman's a champ. She's a real ball player. Pause. But the fact that she knows how to make her way around a court and knows the culture, I just think that in a locker room you go back and forth. And she could have, I just analyze it. I think she could have approached it like, hey, thanks, but yo, make sure you call my name next time.
She could have put her name in
different
the
outcome.
tweet first. He could have put her name in the tweet first.
He should have. I would go as far as say he should have.
And
I agree with that.
She didn't tweet him. She didn't come on his page saying nothing.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think, we have to talk intent. And his intent was to pay her a compliment. That's why I feel like she could have said thanks, but your ass better know my name next time. Something to that degree, because he was trying to compliment her at the end of the day.
He was. And look.
The path to hell is laid with good intentions. Okay.
Oh my gosh, son, my grandma used to say that all the time.
Okay. I'm just saying. Communication is about two people. If you send a message and the lines of communication get crossed, it's not the recipient's fault. It's the sender's fault.
Let me ask you this, Brian. Do you think he meant to diss her?
I don't think it was a diss. I think it shows his that he was being lazy. That was really, that was some half-ass. It was a half-ass attempt.
I think it was a great lesson for him.
A great lesson. And look, I don't know if that brother married, but if he ever tell his significant other to mind her manners, boy, he better sleep with his eye open, because them hot grits gonna get cooked, and he gonna go down the hot grit route. But look, I'll say this:
anybody ever told me to mind my manners, I'd be like, "Oh, really? You gonna be sitting on bricks, because I'm gonna take your car and set that bitch on fire." How about that? That's a nice swift kick to the balls. Don't be disrespectful. You respect me, I respect you. We're both human beings. And stop telling people how they supposed to respond to shit. Get the fuck out of people's faces. If you can't say something nice and right, don't fucking say anything at all.
Can I nicely say, well put? I'm being nice when I say that. Don't be kicking me in my you know what. What was lost in all of it was that there was an NBA player, not just watching. I think he was at the game when he tweeted that. He went and saw the game.
That makes it even worse.
I think he was at the game.
How was he at the game?
Because aren't they in Orlando as well? I think they're in Orlando as well.
But he can't leave the bubble to go to another bubble.
They're not. They don't. All right, so I might be wrong. He was not at the game. Okay, but even so, even if he was not at the game, what's lost in all of this exchange is that there's an NBA player in prime time watching the WNBA. And as the people who have solved all the issues for the WNBA, remember that was one of our biggest issues. How do we get more eyeballs on the product? Because it's a good product. And so what's lost in the whole exchange is we should have been celebrating the fact that players were watching the WNBA and trying to get more people.
Serious? Are you fucking kidding me? So we're supposed to say, "Oh my God, thank you, Andre Iguodala, for following."
No, I'm not saying thank him for watching. I'm saying that here's what I'm saying: that we have to celebrate the fact that you had eyes on the TV, and if they don't have eyes on the TV, they're going to continue to be a little sister, pun intended, to the NBA and be dependent on that revenue stream. We got to get more eyes on the product. And so it happened to be an NBA player. I don't care if it was a lay person, an NBA player, anybody. How do we get more eyes on the product is what I'm saying. And let's figure out what made him tune in and get more men to tune in. But having a back and forth that's separated on communication lines that shows that from a Mars and Venus standpoint, we still can't communicate with one another is the absolute wrong way to approach trying to get more eyes on the product. Because most men, because we don't like when somebody blows the horn behind us. We don't like when someone calls us on our stuff. Most men are just going to pick up their ball, there it is again, and go home as opposed to turning on the next WNBA game. And so we lost potentially more viewers, and that's a problem. Like this caused the problem.
He's on fire.
That's all I'm saying. Let's get people watching the sport. I love the sport.
So
I want other people to love
it. Necessary, even if it's a diss and a slight and a backhanded compliment.
I don't think.
Oh my God! Well, you know what, Bobby? As someone who has ovaries and tits, thank you so much for watching the WNBA because oh my God, we will not be in existence if some fucking cock didn't watch the game. Oh my God, thank you. I am forever.
We want more. We want more of those. What'd you call it? What'd you call it? Watch the game.
Cocks.
We need more of those watching the game. That's all I'm saying from a business perspective, because a lot of those chicken cocks, a lot of those guys are loyal to sports and they're gonna watch, and that's all I'm saying.
But wait, even the rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. You ain't never him say, "Yeah, number 23 is great" or anything like he was.
Oh, he loved the sport.
I think it had a lot to do with the fact that he
man.
has 4 daughters. And he sees like that female interaction. So he's much more sensitive to, and he wouldn't do no stupid shit like that. But you got this fucking Iguodala over here getting mad because someone called them out. I get called out all the time. I don't give a shit. So I'm like, people can say whatever they want to me and I tell them go fuck themselves. But he really took it like a little bitch with his dick tucked.
I agree. And I called him on that too. I think he overreacted to what I'm calling her overreaction. They both overreacted. Tara Bear says not
doubling down was worse than the actual tweet itself.
Yeah, because it was
just so disrespectful. Like you said, Bob, it was the equivalent of say, get back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. Like, really? Like, bro.
I have 3 sisters. I have 3 sisters, and I dare y'all to say something like mind your manners to any one of them because they can fight. It was one of the things where if you won't say something to my face, don't tweet it. And our president needs to live by that because if he would have said that to her face, mind your manners, she would have punched him in his throat. So don't tweet it.
She should have just kicked the balls.
Yeah. Why you gotta go right back there?
Oh no, she didn't.
We are going to give the ladies the last word on this because I do think that Tara Bear makes the point. Not all compliments are actually compliments. Women know this better than men, and it goes back to our inability to communicate without stumbling blocks, right? Because most men are going to say, you know, and Maya, you painted the picture of, you know, whether it be you walking down the street and the construction workers are whistling at you, or you're in the elevator and one of your coworkers says, hey, that's a really nice blouse. For men, we like, hey, it's not a big deal. It's just a compliment. And for women, like Tara points out, not all compliments are actually compliments. Some of them are objectifying. We'll leave it there. Go ahead, Maya. You get last word.
Don't dumb down women to think that we can't distinguish. Like, we could definitely read between the lines. If someone's like, hey, you know, that's a nice blouse. Yeah, I know it's nice. Thank you so much. Like, shit, I bought it. I know I got good taste. Thank you. And we keep it moving. But for someone to be like, she should have just been glad that someone is actually watching the game. Get the fuck out of here. You better be glad somebody's talking to y'all ugly motherfuckers. Because you wouldn't get no pussy if you didn't play basketball. It's a lot of ugly motherfuckers dribbling basketballs, and the only reason why they get pussy is because they got money. Okay, so yeah, I did. Don't fucking look. I ain't that chick. Don't even come.
And you know this, man.
Don't do it, cause I'm petty.
Man.
I'm extra petty.
I love it. That's why. Hey, that's why you are the maverick. I move out the way and let you do it, and do it the way that you do, because you do it fabulously. I do think that we all know her name now, Aerial Powers, which we should have known before. And let that sister keep on doing her thing. And more men, I'm saying it here. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm not saying it just because of this particular topic. More men need to watch the WNBA because it's a good product out there on that floor. And it's a great way to teach young men, young boys, like I do to my sons, how to play the game the right way. All right. Parting shots. We got the XFL. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson bought the XFL for $15 million. People saying he's a fool for buying it. I love seeing. I think it's going to give more brothers. When I say brothers, I mean black, white, and everything in between. More brothers opportunities to play football. I was liking the XFL before COVID shut them all the way down. I think it's a good purchase. What do y'all think? Quickly, The Rock, did he make a good buy with the XFL, and does it have a shot? Quickly.
No. Good purchase, but you're gonna lose money.
Yeah, you're gonna lose money too. All right. How about you, DJ John? Quick. Is the third time a charm, and the XFL makes it this time?
It's just not. It's yeah. And think about it. Yo, there are homes out here in Long Island that cost more than when you purchase for the XFL. Like, it's not, bro. It's just, I don't know, man. It was cool. Like, it was cool when nothing else was on, but yeah, right. I don't know, bro. I mean, I guess, you know what? I guess he could use, as much money as he makes, he could use it as a tax write-off if it fails.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. How about because today, Friday, is the first Friday in August. So the last topic is always going to be the entertainment ending. It's the first Friday in August. And I think we got to devote the last topic in the entertainment ending to August Alsina, who, with the Rick Ross, made a song called Entanglement. Are y'all loving the song? Did he turn his tragedy into triumph with this song? And he's owning it. He's embracing it. I feel it. I named my entertainment company Excessive Celebration. Is he in control of his tragedy now with this new song? What do you think?
I think the record's kind of trash, but I'm not a fan of him or Rick Ross. So that's just me.
Got it.
It won't touch my turntables. So.
Got it.
Wait,
I don't think you were trying to make no sexual innuendo there, but you did it anyway. It won't touch my turntables. It won't be in my entanglement. What do you think, Miss Majestic Maya? Did August Alsina take over the month of August and come in roaring like a lion with this new song with Rick Ross called Entanglement? He's looking over there at Will Smith and Jada and the whole family laughing, and he says, I got the last laugh. I got this song. What do you think?
He corny. Get back on the meds, sweetie.
Yeah. He needs meds for real. All right, y'all. I see Maya's going. I see when she makes that face and she's doing this, I know she's typing at somebody. She's going hard.
Yeah, because somebody called me.
Somebody.
Yes, this guy here, Gary Jason Lewis, he said, the woman on the screen is a loud talking windbag. Her take on the WNBA / Andrew Iguodala is totally emotional. It was a compliment. Yes, I know her name is Maya. So I replied, you're a loud talking windbag. Your sexism is showing. You look a little large. Maybe you're a windbag. Go fuck yourself. Boy, bye. Don't fucking come for me. He looks rather large. So he's talking about a windbag. I know he got a lot of shit up in his fat ass.
Well,
don't fucking come for me.
Welcome to the Ball Hog Sports Talk. You have just encountered the Maverick, Miss Majestic Maya, and that's why we do the Ball Hog Sports Talk. Look, keep on with your comments. We ask everybody humbly to like, to comment, to share. We're going to get out of here for the week. We ask you humbly again, please like, please comment, please share. It's only going to cost you 5 seconds to like, comment, or share, and more people can join in the fun. We've had a great week. It's been the Ball Hog Sports Talk with your boy B Brown, ESQ, aka the Ball Hog, aka the Mountain South, aka Mr. Excessive Celebration. Our girl, Miss Majestic Maya, the Maverick, is still with that face, and she is still sending something through the Twitterverse or the interweb. And we have the Maestro.
I'm sorry, Scott Bibb. You see, I let up when all the squash, but motherfuckers want to take your place, so I gotta finish them.
Yeah, there we go. And we have the Maestro. We have the Maestro himself, and the dogs barking is the appropriate intro for the Maestro himself. Superhero DJ John Quick. That has been the show. It was a long one for this week, y'all. Y'all make sure that y'all like, make sure that you comment, make sure that you share. Join us next Friday for some more ignorance and some more fun, some more analysis. And something tells me that Maya's still going to be kicking folks in the balls next week on the Ball Hall Sports Talk. So come back for it. You got to wear a cup. I got to wear a cup. DJ John Quick, we got to wear a cup to the Ball Hall Sports. She going to mess around.
I got to put on the pants, period. Let alone a cup.
Oh, man. Maya, we love you to death. I love to see all the guys getting a taste of the Maya, Majestic Maya Maverick, and DJ John Quick. Love you to death, good bro. Thank y'all for another good show. We out. Peace.
Peace.